Hello Tumblr, Deeper Madness here. It's time for some more Pokemon cards. I've actually just opened the pack of cards. I was actually going to do a video about discussing fake cards because my shop where I work has actually just picked up some packs, and I was actually a bit surprised to see that we had them. I always get a bit suspicious when smaller shops, not chain shops, actually start picking up cards, because although the places themselves might be legitimate, the actual people that they source them from, especially when the people that deliver them in vans, you always get a bit sort of suspicious of some way or another. But I'm quite pleased to say that these are in fact genuine cards. I won't upload the original video I did. I did actually record opening the pack, but I got called away and, well, I was blathering on a bit anyway, so it's not worth your time. I will, however, talk about fake cards while I'm here. I haven't actually got any fake cards, I'm pleased to say, although I was almost sort of hoping that these would be fake so I could demonstrate it for you. But as I went through the pack, I've actually taken one of them out. I firstly noticed that I had a reverse Holo, which is usually a sign that you wouldn't be able to get one anyway, because they're quite hard to replicate in the way that Nintendo have got them at the moment. But the other thing is, I also have a double card now. Say hello to a second holographic Hydreigon. I'm pretty certain that that would qualify for them not being fake cards. There are other ways to tell, I'll discuss those shortly, but if anyone would like to trade for something else, I do now have two Holo Hydreigons. It's funny because I got this one, or possibly this one, I think it was this one, it doesn't matter, as my first pack of cards at Toys R Us. I got this one in my first and only pack of cards from my newsagent. So that's a nice way to start new chapters in purchasing, I suppose. Kind of reminds me when I first started collecting Yu-Gi-Oh! And in the very first pack of cards I got, it was a triple pack from Argos. I got Axe of Despair in one, and Maha Vilo in the other, or one of the others. I think the third pack had Hyonrizu in it, but actually the two cards have always I'm dithering. Anyway, fake cards. There have always been fake cards in Pokemon. There are fake cards in everything. And there are varying different degrees in which you can tell which are fake, which are real, and, you know. The first place to really find out if you've got real or fake cards is look at the place you're getting them from before you do anything else, before you've even got your wallet out. Think about where you're getting your cards from. In general, big chain shops, they will have legitimate cards. Places like Tesco, Toys R Us, in America you'd have Walmart and Target, although, you know, in general they'll be the best places to get your cards. That's not to say small retail places don't. There used to be a place not too far from where I live called Jennings, and they used to be the best place to get Pokemon and Yu-Gi-Oh cards, because they would always try to undercut the other big toy retailers. They were a fantastic little shop, and it's a shame that they've disappeared since. But anyway, just getting sidetracked again. I do that too much. Fake cards. After you've actually managed to work out whether or not you're actually, well, you feel like you're in a safe place. I mean, don't forget, just because you're in a big shop, it doesn't necessarily mean to say that you're getting real cards. But as a general rule of thumb, they're big chains, they go to the proper wholesalers, and there's a much bigger crackdown and sorting on cards anyway. Not to mention the fact that they're also a lot harder to fake these days. Although, in saying that, there are other ways around it, but we'll discuss that later. The first thing to really discuss, though, is how the cards are packaged. You might often see cards if you go to like a flea market, and they will be out of their packets, and in the card sleeves, you know, the 9x or 3x3 card sleeves, I really wouldn't buy cards that way. They might look amazing, 50p a card, whatever, almost probably fake. One thing that a friend of mine used to do was he used to pick up his cards there. I never actually used to see too many fake cards unless the kid in question had been on holiday somewhere and they brought them back with them, but yeah, market stalls, flea markets, all that lot, they're not really the best place to buy them. And would you really want to anyway? How badly do you need cards that you have to source them like that? I mean, that's the whole point of trading. I mean, you know, you're going to have doubles anyway, so you might as well trade them out and get cards you need. So that brings us to looking at the packets. Now, this is the packet that these cards came in. Admittedly, I was quite surprised because these does look like a genuine packet. It's got a barcode on the back and it's got all of the things on it, and it was fairly priced. That's roughly RRP for the UK, you know, so can't really complain there. But often you'll see them in packs that have got they're either paper packets, or I've seen they're like plasticky, not as foil packets, and they've got like Digimon on there, Yu-Gi-Oh! Monsters, and I think I saw one with Doraemon on there, which was actually quite hilarious. But generally, if they're in a genuine, I mean, this looks like a genuine pack of cards. It's got no typos on it or anything like that, and you know, it is actually foil. You can see the foil there. I hope you can see the foil there. I was hoping it would focus. Focus, damn you. Move it back slightly. I can't move it too far back. There, it's shiny. You can see it's shiny. So yeah, look for foil packets. Try to get them from wholesalers. Now for the cards themselves, obviously there are going to be people with fake cards. So even if you are swapping with people, keep an eye out for a few things when you are looking at the cards. The cards themselves are actually quite, you know, there are loads of videos on YouTube with fake card descriptions on them. I think the best place to start would be to actually look at the card art itself. I think the best example for this would be if I compare it with a Boundaries Cross Tangler. Like I said, these are both real cards, as far as I can tell. Just look how much better the card art is on both of these cards compared to some of the ones you're looking at or have seen. Often they're either low resolution images or they're poor scans, or in the case of rare cards, they'll have actually scanned the holographic background, which gives it this horrible sort of sheen to it. Not only it looks grainy, because of course the light's reflecting off of it and it looks terrible. The next thing you'll want to be looking at is these things, the actual symbols. You can see they're both uniform, the same size, they're all properly aligned. Often with these, they'll either be the wrong symbol, or the symbol be in the wrong place, or the text underneath will be overlapping it, or it'll be misaligned, or all manner of different things. Now, there have been a few instances in the past where the wrong symbol has been used in place of it, or they've been mistakes. These are actually legitimate cards, and some of them are actually quite rare, but these are known as error prints. Your best bet is to either not take it at face value, or to cross-reference it online. It's quite easy to go on the internet now and just look up a list of error cards. That'd be your best way to find out which ones are genuine mistakes and which ones aren't. Not terribly much rarer though, so a reprint wouldn't necessarily be something to look out for instead anyway, unless you were definitely looking for error cards or misprints. The next thing to look out for is actual wording of the cards. You can see all of this is in proper English. The fonts as well, they're another big key sign. Usually these are in bold, and then you've got this here, and this is in italics. Wish I could get the focus to work on it. Oh, you just made it worse for yourself, thank you for that. Come on. It does it when it doesn't want to do it. Oh, let's focus on something else. Terribly sorry about this, I can't believe it's actually doing this to me. There we go. And there it goes again. You know what, just take my word for it. There is legitimate italic text there. It's not normally blurry on the card itself. This is the pangs I take for using a mobile phone. Oh, there we go, you can probably just about make it out now. Weird, isn't it? Another thing is, while I'm in the area, signature at the bottom. A lot of fake cards will not include a signature. Always look out for one of those. And the same goes for this text here. This is often omitted, or the boxes surrounding it are often misshapen or different or lack a border. There is something about shadowless cards. You see here you've got like a shadow that runs along the edge here to make the actual effect of it looking embossed. Well, some cards don't actually have that. These are genuine cards, but ever since, almost all cards have some sort of embossing or effect or something along that edge there to make them stand out. Always look for something like that. there are more glaringly obvious errors when you actually start picking up these cards. For one thing, this background will be fake, or it'll be very thin. These are quite thick cards. You can hear it's got a nice flappy sound to it. Fake cards won't do that. They'll probably bend if you tried doing that. Or rip. There's always ripping. I wouldn't recommend ripping cards to test their authenticity. The last thing you would want is to find a genuine base set Charizard, go, oh, it looks fake, and then tear a great big thing through it. I've seen someone do that. They had to go into counselling. Another thing that I've noticed quite often is they'll print them as stickers. You can actually peel the cards away and they'll be stickers instead, and often because they are completely misshapen and formed whatever, they're almost all holographic. Now it's not like these, not like reverse holographic cards where the picture itself isn't and the rest of the card is, although these have got a nice iridescent sheen that you can see here, and you can see the watery symbol there as it reflects through it. No, these are printed stickers where everything is holographic, and it's not like this sort of holographic where you can see the lines in it and prints, and remember the old starry galaxy style print? No, these are just, well, like cheap stickers basically, because that's exactly what they are. The other defining thing, there's actually two more. One is the back of the cards. Often these are printed upside down or have got false text, or even the prints of other card series on them. It'd be hilarious to find these cards with Magic the Gathering prints on the back, wouldn't it? The other thing, and the one that is usually the good tell, is the borders. I can't really show you. I put these down to compare. You notice these borders are in fact uniform. They are straight edged, they're even, and they go right the way up and down the card, top and bottom. A lot of fake cards will be turned slightly, or they'll be slightly over the top of the card, so there's almost no border. And the same goes for the back as well. You have to check both sides. Often the colours will be different as well. These are quite nice, richly coloured. See how sharp the lines are on this thing here. This is definitely not a scanned card. And this here, alright, it's got a fake filter effect on it, but again, rich colours, you can make out the definition of the shading and the highlights and everything like this. Definitely not scanned. And lastly, check the materials of the card. Outside of Koro magazine cards, these always have a very fine, slight gloss to them, which is like a basic treatment to keep the cards in protected case, basically, just to keep them safe. The Koro special promo cards, which are bigger cards in general anyway, have a much glossier sheen, and it goes all the way over the card, so you see how these are slightly shiny, quite shiny actually, in this light. They're even shinier still, and they feel more slick, and, you know, people like that in Japan. That's why they kept doing it, according to Bulbapedia anyway. But you can often see that they've got like a more plasticky feel to them, the fake cards. So, yeah. Anyway, that's rambling on. This didn't actually turn out the way I wanted it to. I just basically wanted to show off the fact that, once again, I have 2 of these now. I always preferred Haxorus, but seeing it's almost impossible to get him in the UK without buying Dragon Vault cards as opposed to Dragons Exalted, I'll have to make do with this thing. And I'm not complaining.